Hello everyone, welcome to Fast Track on Herald Global. I am Saimik Sen. Joining us today, Mr. Tanuj Virwani, a dynamic actor and filmmaker in Bollywood, is best known for his roles in Inside Edge and Code M. He has also made his mark as director and writer, and recently as the host of MTV Splitsvilla 15. So first of all, thank you so much for taking out this time for us. Welcome to Herald Global.
My pleasure.
Okay, so let me begin by asking you, what inspired you to pursue a career in acting?
I think I've always been very, very creatively inclined from a young age. It's just that at that point in time, I was perhaps finding the right vocation or the right way to kind of express myself. It started off when, I used to make those Lego sets when I was a kid, a lot of puzzles. Then as I grew a little older, I would draw, I would paint. I would do a little bit of still photography, with those old cameras we'd have back in the day. And I always gravitated towards watching movies. We didn't have these OTT platforms back then, so all the different cable channels and stuff, like whatever would play, Hindi, English, anything. And just the entire idea of every weekend, my mom and dad would take me to the cinema. And it was like a great thing for us, to be sitting in that darkened hall and watching our favorite actors on the big screen, on the silver screen. And I think that just had a very lasting effect on me. And as I grew older, I'm like, I think this is the line of work I see myself getting into. It's just that I was very shy, so I never thought that I'll be able to perform and do all the things that I expected out of an actor. So I'm like, ठीक है, मैं camera के पीछे कुछ करूँगा, maybe मैं writing करूँगा या फिर मैं direction करूँगा. I just never thought it's going to be acting. But then slowly, I guess the more you experience life, the more you start having that sense of confidence in your own abilities, and you want to just go out there and express yourself. So I think that's how it happened. Yeah, a lot of people, sometimes think that, okay, yaar, actor ka beta to actor hi banega. But frankly, I didn't really see my mom at the peak of her acting career, because a lot of people don't realize that she had taken a really long sabbatical after she got married, right? And she only made a comeback to the movies when I was already fairly fully formed at about 16 and a half years old. So, yeah.
So there was some kind of a guidance from her or not?
Of course. There has been a lot of guidance from my mom. There continues to be guidance from her. And, but, she's not very intrusive, and she never thopos her viewpoints on me. Like, it's always me who seeks her advice if I am stuck in a bit of a quandary, or if I need a second opinion. I mean, who better? I've got a stalwart sitting at home in the next room. It would be really foolhardy on my part to go outside and speak to other people. So, of course, she's always there. She always gives me very well balanced and good advice. Yeah.
So I've been a big fan of her throughout. Like, I'm the 80s kid. So in that way.
Yeah.
So tell us, how did Inside Edge happen to you?
Actually, Inside Edge has a lot of a lot of different interpretations before it actually came to be called Inside Edge. Earlier, it was called Khel. Then it was called Power Play, and eventually it was called Inside Edge. Back then, it was with another OTT platform, and I had auditioned for it, and it was a very strange audition because it was me performing the first scene of the show with the cheerleader. I don't want to get into the unmentionables, but the infamous scene or the famous scene, however you want to look at it, right? And I gave the audition, and I'm like, what the hell just happened? What did I just do? This is such a... And obviously there was no cheerleader, so it was literally me and one computer chair, and I had to kind of make that gesture while I was performing the scene, and I'm like, oh God, this is a disaster. It was disastrous. But much to my surprise, I got a call back from them a few days later, and they said they want to meet me. But फिर बात बनी नहीं, because I think it didn't happen with that production house, so it went away. And then few months passed, and I was doing a film back then with Sunny Leone called One Night Stand. And I still remember it was the 5th of May, 2016. And I was in the cinema with my parents. And during the interval, I just came out and all to just have a word with my director, like how's the feedback and what's happening. And the feedback was not very good. And also I was a little down and all. And suddenly I get a call from an unknown number. I answer it, and it's a call from Excel. And they're like, hey, listen, we're on board. We're making this show. You had auditioned for it like 3 months back. And we're now on board, and we'd like to meet you. We want to finalize you for the role of this character called Vayu Raghavan.
Okay.
And I'm like, what? It's happening? Wow. And the rest, as they say, is history. That's how it happened.
So it's one of the most popular character of OTT till date. How did you prepare for the character?
Buddy, I've had so much fun essaying that character and just across all three seasons. Like it's beautiful because जब आप एक फिल्म में काम करते हो, you shoot it for 2, 3, 4, 5 months, whatever it is,
Hmm.
and then you move on, right? But जब आप एक series का हिस्सा बनते हो, and especially which has like multiple seasons, it's like when I did the first season, I was around maybe 29 years old. When I did the second season, I was 31. When I did the third season, I was about 33, 34. So at every juncture of your life, as you keep evolving and you keep maturing as a person and as a performer, you can take that and bring it to your character. So you're kind of feeding off each other. In a lot of ways, I feel Vayu is my imaginary best friend or my doppelganger. It's amazing. It's been a fantastic journey so far. Yeah.
Okay, so how was the experience of working with Dharma Production for Yodha?
Oh, it was fantastic working with Dharma. Like you hear so many things of how these big production houses are a cut above the rest, and like gosh, yaar, ek din, and of course I got the opportunity to work and collaborate with Excel on multiple occasions, but I was waiting for like a Dharma or Yash Raj to kind of like sit up and take notice of me and give me a good opportunity, and I was so happy when this offer came along because I've been testing for Dharma films for the last 8, 9 years ever since I became an actor, and I would always reach the short list and this and that, but somehow it never worked out. I'm like, okay, just keep your head down and keep focusing on your process. I mean, if it's meant to be, it'll happen, right? You don't need to be so sad about it. But this was ironical because I straight away got offered the role. I did not have to audition for it, and um, they called me, and I met the two directors, Sagar and Pushkar, and yeah, we were on the same page. They had a wonderful kind of way that they want to go about things, and I really liked the script, the screenplay, my character, and just the vibe of the entire project. So I had a very memorable experience on Yodha. Though a large part of the movie is basically me just acting by myself, man. Because if you've seen the film, I'm in the control room, right, and there were very few actors in that scene. So it's just me on the phone with Sid, with Disha, with Rashi, with everyone. So yeah, it was quite the journey. Yeah. A
So,
lot of green screen acting.
so you have worked in movies, in OTTs as well. Okay, and so if I ask you, how different are they, these two mediums? How was your experience in terms of?
I think if the setup is good, the production house is good, the script is good, the actors and the technicians are good, you don't really feel that to be a major difference. Yeah, I do think that the budgets allocated to a film are substantially more than for a web series or for anything on the OTT platform. So say on a film, if I'm shooting 4 to 5 pages a day, if I'm doing a web series, it might be 7 to 8 or 9 pages a day. So sometimes you just got to hit the ground running, right, when you're doing a show. And also the sensibilities are a little different because, in a film, especially if you're doing a theatrical release, it usually has 3, 4, 5 songs. You have that the designated interval block happening. You have to kind of reach a culmination by the end. If you want to set it up as a franchise, you can sow the beans over there. For a show, it's very different. There are certain episodes, like take Vayu, take Inside Edge, for example. There are certain episodes where I might just be in the periphery in a couple of scenes, and there are certain episodes where it's all about his journey and what's happening with him in that particular moment. So I like the beauty of OTT is that so many different actors and so many different characters get
Of
the
course.
opportunity to shine because there's a lot more screen time allocated, and it also allows you a lot more time for world building, a lot more time for character graphs.
True.
So I think both are fascinating, and you just need to understand what is expected from you and what you expect from yourself. Yeah, it's a minor tweak.
What is your process in terms of selecting the script, okay, and particular roles that are there in your mind which you want to do it in future?
Yeah. Okay, so I'll come to the first part of your question.
Yeah.
I see. I'm not a trained actor, and I'm very instinctive as a human being. I'm instinctive with my personal life. I'm instinctive with the decisions I take in my professional life, and I just uh, try and put myself in the shoes of the audience. I'm like, okay, if I were an audience member, would I pay money to go watch this, or would I subscribe to this particular OTT platform to watch this particular show? Forget the fact that I'm in it or I'm not in it. Let's be dispassionate. Let's think completely, objectively. Just leave your emotions at the door. And if the answer is yes, or veering towards affirmative, then yes, I will definitely have a second meeting with the people involved and stuff. And if I feel ki yaar maza nahi aa raha and I don't see myself inhabiting this world, then I just politely decline it. So I think you have to be choosy. Also, the thing is, you have to be honest to yourself that okay, at this juncture, of my career, these are the kind of roles that I'm being offered. I need to make the best. I need to find the right balance between art and commerce. I need to find the right balance as to how visible I want to be. I don't want to overexpose myself. At the same time, I don't want to be underexposed, right? There's a simple saying in Hindi, right?
True.
Dikhega to bikega. So,
Of course.
now everything you do will not resonate with all audiences, right? I mean, that's literally not possible, not for anyone. It's different strokes for different folks. There's so many people who think my work in cartel is my best, or my work in tandoor is my best, or many obviously think my work in inside edge is my best. So it really depends on the what your TG is, what your target demographic is. So I think all these things are very, very important. But at the end of the day, no matter of this lamba chauda answer I've given you, it's about your gut feeling, it's about your instinct. And I think I always back my instinct.
Since we're talking about gut feeling, like you mentioned about script. So how do you
Yes,
understand
yes.
when you're reading a script? How do you understand this is going to work? The overall the script and the movie.
You
all-
can't understand. No, there's no hard and fast rule. You really don't know what is going to work and what's not going to work. Sometimes you have a hunch that, yeah, there's a good chance that this could work because it's resonating with me. And if we kind of, pitch it in the right way and we kind of, serve it to the audience in the right way, it should probably strike a chord, but you don't know for sure. You have to trust your process. You have to trust the people you're inhabiting the scene with. You have to trust the makers. I believe that films is more of a director's medium, but OTT space and shows are more of a writer's medium. Many times you see the directors changing episode to episode, but if the writing is strong, the characters are strong, the scenarios that they place in have that one kind of that thera, then I feel there's a better chance of something working. And at the end of the day, there are only so many stories that we can tell. It's all about presentation. It's all about how do you want to kind of package the entire thing. How do you, jaise kehte ki, old wine in a new bottle sort of thing. So it's not like every time you have to break the mold. It should not be a zabardasti. Sometimes the mold is so good that if you are sensible about it and you use enough creativity and all that, it still flies, right? Because you make it for today's generation. So I think there are a combination of factors, but there's no hard and fast rule. It's like going to the casino, man. I mean, you can be good at poker and blackjack and baccarat and all that, but eventually, yeah, you got to leave it to fate. Just give it your best.
Okay, so you're supposed to tell me about the future roles that those are there as an aspiration, maybe some kind of.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, so there are a lot of more than specific roles that there are different genres that I want to be a part of. So yeah, I've done thrillers. I've done a comedy also. I've done a comedy called Bajao about a year and a half back. I've done sports stuff. I've not done horror, A, and B, a category that I really want to do. Something like Taj or Hiramandi, Padmavat, or one of these period pieces or Yodha Akbar. It fascinates me because you have to completely change the way you think. Now you're operating in a world where they didn't have internet, where they didn't have cell phones, they didn't have the sort of technology that we have today and stuff and all that. You have to remove yourself from who you are in the present. And I think it would be a very, very fascinating experience for me, So far, I have not got the opportunity, but I'm hopeful that someone watches this interview and gives me a call.
Definitely. Okay, so please tell us about Code M.
Yeah, so Code M is another franchise in my kitty, which I'm very, very proud of. It kind of started off like where producer Samar Khan came to me and pitched it, and he's really good at pitching and stuff and all that. And I was sold, and I got the opportunity to kind of collaborate with Jennifer, with Rajat Kapoor, all the people who were in season 2. And season 2 in particular was very fascinating for me because it actually got substantially delayed because of the pandemic, but we were going to start it earlier. And for those who have seen season 2, sorry, spoiler coming up, but by the end of season 2, you realize that I'm actually the bad guy. I've been the mastermind all along and stuff. And I obviously knew this well in advance. And I was raring to go because I'm it's so fascinating. You played this character straight for a large part of 2 seasons. And at the end, in the very last scene, you get to know that, oh my God, this guy was manipulating everything all along. And it kind of just changes the way you perceive the character. It also changes the syntax of the character. So, mere khayal se that was very, very fascinating for me. And it's been a great journey. I also have to give special props to my director, Akshay. Akshay Chobe has been fantastic. He's a lovely person to work with. We're also very thick friends. And, it's so nice when you get to work with like-minded people, when him, me, Jennifer, we're all on set together. It was a great kind of working relationship over there between the three of us. Yeah.
Okay. So how has the digital landscape changed the way you approach your craft now?
I'm an actor, right? I want to keep it as pure. I want to keep it as real, as raw, as pure. And I don't want there to be too many layers or too many veneers between you guys, the audience, and me, the actor. So I just feel if you get a bit too conscious, ki, yaar, okay, this is a big screen film, so I need to perform in a certain way. As opposed to this is something that people will probably watch at home on their laptops, on their phones, on their tablets and stuff and all. I'll perform in a different way. No, my job is to be the vessel, is to be the medium, is to be that person who translates the message that the writer, the director have for you guys, which is the audience. Right? I've always said audience is judge, jury, and executioner. It's as simple as that. If the audience makes a film do well or a show do well, that means it's a good film. Otherwise, it's not. It's as simple as that. Because cinema shows everything that we do are a form of entertainment at the end of the day. And that is our number one job. Of course, other things also matter. We would like to enlighten the audience along with entertaining them, but entertainment is the number one thing. So I just look to try and give the most entertaining performance, as simple as that. And at the same time, try and keep it honest, keep it real. I also come from a school of thought where I believe less is more, because I feel the style of acting, when you try to go too loud and stuff, na, it gets a bit jarring, because aajkal hamari sensibility so thode alag hai, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s it was different. I think with the advent of films like Lagan, Dil Chahta Hai, those kind of films, I think the syntax of acting and the way it's kind of looked at in our industry has also kind of evolved for the better.
Okay, so give us a glimpse about your upcoming projects.
Yeah, so I'm actually really excited about some of my upcoming work. I have a show with Applause. It's not got a confirmed official title as yet, so I can't say anything. It's got Rahul Dev. It's a Mumbai-based police thriller about this special anti-terrorism unit. Very very fast-paced, very edge of the seat sort of thing and all. And I play an ACP in that. So really excited for that. I've got a film called Johnny Jumper, which will be on one of the OTT platforms. It's called Vijay Raz, Brijinder Kalra, Zakir Hussain, Zarina Wahab, and myself. I play the titular role of Johnny Jumper, who is a cable wala in Bhopal, but at the same time, he's also a mole for the local police and all. And then through a series of unfortunate events, he gets kind of embroiled in this whole kind of mystery and the scandal. So it's very, very fascinating. It allowed me the chance to kind of flex my acting and my action chops and some comic chops and some dark thrillery moments. So it was a good mishmash. It's directed by Saurabh Verma, who had made Mickey Virus.
Sounds very
I've got this
interesting.
very cute, I've got this very cute rom-com coming up called Puppy Love. It stars Trida Chaudhary, Divya Agarwal, Nikki Tamboli, and myself. No, there are no puppies in it, even though I love dogs. But it's a very, very sweet coming-of-age love story. So I'm excited about that. And I recently got the opportunity to work and collaborate with one of my favorite actors, KK Menon, on a show called Murshid. And it's a father-son story. I'm playing a police constable in that. And really excited to see how you guys kind of like take that project as well. Yeah. So these are some of the things. Of course, I just had Yodha that came out. I'm currently hosting Splitsvilla. That's also very new for me. I've never had any sort of hosting experience in my life. So that's cool. And I'm currently shooting for a Netflix show. I can't divulge any details. I'm not allowed to. But suffice to say, it's part two of a big franchise that Netflix has made in India. So yeah, these are the things I'm working on right now.
So how was the experience of hosting Splitsvilla?
Fantastic, yeah. I was a little nervous going in, but then I knew Sunny's a part of it and we go back a long way. So I was like, come on, hey, ek chance to banta hai, like, I mean, the fact that the makers have come to me and approached me for this, I mean, kuch to hoga. And I really enjoyed my stint. It was pretty hectic and chaotic, that 1.5 month that we were shooting. But now that's done and I actually tune in every weekend and watch the episodes. It's really nice. It's such a good, entertaining show, and it's got so much of rawness, right? Because it's not scripted. Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm an actor. I'm used to performing and reenacting fiction on screen, and this is like real raw emotions. And man, like, it's a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, emotionally draining at times. Lots of fights happen on these shows, but I enjoyed myself, and I could not have asked for a better co-conspirator than Sunny. I think she's an absolute rock star, and there's now, having shared the stage with her this season, I understand why she's so loved by so many people in this role, and she's been hosting it for close to what, 9, 10 seasons now. It's incredible.
Okay, my last question to you. Okay, your
Ji.
advice, or rather, the raw truth to aspiring actors of today who wants to enter
Ooh.
the
I
industry.
mean, I'll probably give them the same advice that I always give myself. That is that, if you try and be like someone else, you're going to pale in comparison. Don't try and be the next Shah Rukh Khan or Ranbir Kapoor. We all love them. I'm their biggest fan. But you have to want to be the best version of yourself. Keep
So,
focusing on your process. Keep focusing on the things that are in your control, what you can do. Don't focus on the results. I made this mistake too at the very onset of my career when I would perform a scene and I'm like, अगर मैं ऐसे scene में ऐसे perform करूंगा तो लोग ऐसे react करेंगे नहीं होता. You just don't know because it's such a big sample size. You're not talking about 5 or 10 people that you're performing for. God willing, you're performing for hundreds and thousands and millions of people. So you
so,
just need to be honest to your craft and you have to be consistent in your approach. It's not like you can work hard for one day and then for 3 days do whatever the hell you want. Consistency is very important. Otherwise, you will not be. You might get your first break but the challenge is your second project, your follow-up project. How do you sustain? And for that, I think for you, for your career to be in good health, to have the longevity, it's very, very important for you to be consistent. Put your head down. Don't look at what's happening here and there in iske life mein, iske career mein kya ho raha hai. And just be authentic. Be authentic. Because that's, each of us have our own kind of imprint and our own aura. And if you are able to successfully communicate that aura, what you are in real life on and kind of imprint it on your characters, no matter good, bad, gray, black, white characters, whatever it is now, it just elevates the performance. So that's my advice. Yeah, keep punching, don't give up.
okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Virwani. I look forward to your upcoming shows. I wish you all the best. And thank you so much for taking out this time for us. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Mr. Sen. Thank you. I think you've asked some wonderful questions today, and it's really been wonderful chatting with you. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you.